Oh man, we kicked this one off a little late. This is the Soapbox. It's Friday, March 10th, 2023. I'm Dennis, and we're hanging out here on the Soapbox. It's the after show where we get done recording our other stuff. Normally, it's a post show to Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast, but we're taking a break from that show right now because our favorite Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, is running right now. So we've been running recording sessions for We Have Spoken, the Mandalorian podcast, which is the thing that Ricky and I do. It's kind of weird because we do that one pre-recorded, so it's not a live show, so nobody knows that when we're recording it. But then we immediately do this one live, and it's kind of only available for our patrons to come and chat with us. But they don't find out about it until like they get a random post at like 9:30 on a Friday night saying, hey, they're doing a thing. And then we don't even show up at 9:30 because we're we ran late. And so that's our bad. So what that means is if you're not one of those people that actually paid attention to the Patreon post, then you're one of the people catching this after we've released it to the public a short time after, which is the standard practice we do. I don't like making a lot of things exclusive on Patreon because I just feel like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I do have certain things I make exclusive there that are just like, I don't know, less about us just being available to talk and for people to hear our opinions on stuff. So that's kind of why we do these shows in the first place, is just to share our dumb opinions about whatever, just being like, you know, there's so many different perspectives on so many nerd topics out there. And yeah, that's us. But now we have somebody who has just got done recording We Have Spoken with us. It's Frank.
Yo, yo.
Welcome back to the
I had, to,
Soapbox.
I had to explain to the wife that it wasn't that Joel's not on the show, so we're not going to be here till 4 a.m.
Yeah, I do want to go play some games on the other platforms on the PS5. So
Yeah.
I don't want to stay late. Plus, I had a long day at that wheelchair convention. So, but I did want to hang out and chat with you because I felt jealous because I know you and Ricky were doing soapbox discussions before we even started recording.
We did kind of, yeah. So also during that time, I looked up. I have the Wikipedia article of Mandalore the First, and then but there's also a separate article, or sorry, this is on Fandom of Mandalore the Ultimate, but like cross-referencing the information, they're the same person.
Okay.
But for some reason, they don't call him Mandalore the Ultimate, which is like, it's a total like middle finger right in my face. I think it's all like, hey, you spent hours reading these comic books and collecting them,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah,
I think the weirdest thing about it is there's like all these old 1980s Marvel comics,
yeah,
that are no longer canon. You know what I mean? But now who's in charge of producing Star Wars comics? Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. So annoying.
And so it's all come full circle, but they're not allowed to acknowledge their old comics. You know, like,
so weird.
You can still read them on Unlimited. You can still read them, but you just have to know that they're expanded universe, right? They're Star Wars Legends is what it's called.
I don't even bother with Legends. I don't bother with any of it anymore. Like, I'm just.
Well, you did already.
Pull the good back in, right? The minute we get Jackson the Space Rabbit in live action, that's how you know you made it.
Do you think we're gonna get a Mara Jade or we're gonna get a Mark Jade?
Well, you know, Hasbro isn't missing a beat. They've been making those toys.
Yeah, I know there's a Jackson Black Series
and a Mara Jade.
Yeah, and they have a Mara Jade. Yeah, she wasn't she in the Unleashed one or something?
Okay, this is just a little shot at Hasbro because they kind of annoy me sometimes. Did you know that they found an opportunity to resell their Mandalorian Black Series figures, but with slightly different paint? They called them the Credits Series.
Wow.
And what it is, no. The Credits Series, they're painted to look like the credits sequences of the Mandalorian.
Concept art ones.
The concept art.
Oh.
So they're weathered. They're painted a different way. So like go look up Bo-Katan, credit series, and she's painted different than the real one. But the real one is what I say. The real one is the one that appeared in the show, and that's how she looks, right? That's the correct way to look. So it's weird to me that you can go buy paint jobs of the characters.
There's 3. Yeah, you
it
buy
never looked that way.
The regular one, you buy the carbonized version.
Yeah, I know. I know it's carbonized, which is a different.
And then
one
you
too.
buy the credit one.
It's so gross. It's so gross.
Interesting.
It says the man with 20 Spider-Man in his closet.
Yeah, but they're all different Spider-Man.
Some of them. Doesn't the black suit one has the same that's the same type as the is that the 60th anniversary one, or is that the oh shit, which one is it? I know the black suit one that came out recently is the same as another one.
Oh no, it's the same body. Yeah, but I'm saying like I wouldn't want Spider-Man to be on different bodies, you know what I mean? Like
okay.
Yeah. That said, on the same topic or similar topic, there's a brand new series of Spider-Man figures that came out for pre-order yesterday. Did you see those?
I did.
You did?
They're pretty. So my son-in-law, which weird to say, but whatever. It's a thing. It's a thing that happens. He's a big toy collector. So he's weird about it. He's like, you know how you have that weird quirk where you'll give away your old toys if you have a replacement, like a modern replacement.
Yeah.
He's kind of the same way, except if he already has a toy, that makes him not want to buy the modern one. So he's the opposite. He's opposite you in that. It's so super weird.
But that's me in general, right? Like it's not just with toys. I like the newer version of most things, right? Like most like when it comes to storytelling, that's not the case, right? But if it's a product, I will generally take the newer version of a product, right? Unless you want to consider movies and stuff to be products, then sure, that it gets weird. But if it's a toy, if it's a video game, like, you know what I mean? Like I would rather play whatever the newest Pac-Man would be rather than I don't want to go play the old.
The new Pac-Man's pretty sick if you played it for the what's it called? Switch. They have it for the Switch, and it's a multiplayer game. It's dope.
Like, why would I go play Game Boy Tetris when I can play Tetris 99? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about products. But if it's a story like RoboCop, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like
with that new shit, with that new fucking
that new shit completely
Joel Kinnaman bullshit. Yeah,
missed the point. You know, yeah. So that's just my general philosophy on stuff. Like I can't hang on to the oldest version of things because like I know that there's a better Spider-Man that has toe articulation. So why
the Spinneret one
doesn't have toe articulation? You know,
which is every single other one.
But
that came out
last year. Did you see that Ben Reilly has the toe articulation?
Yeah, the Ben Reilly. Yeah, and that's double great because I love Ben Reilly so much.
Yeah, and there's 2 Ben Reillys in that figure. There's no Peter Parker in the new wave of figures.
No, and I saw isn't there Venom and Carnage? Is that one of them? That was
there's
one of the
ones. Venom one, no Venom, a Doc Ock one with Aunt May, and there's a Carnage
that's not
one
from
with
the new set. That's not with the new set. So the new set is, sorry, you're talking about the thing that I talked about like 2 weeks ago, which was the Aunt May and Doc Ock.
Yeah. Okay.
Ricky, that's from the cartoon. That's from the cartoon.
Yeah.
But the new set of figures that just got released for pre-order yesterday, it's so dirty because they did a live stream last week to promote them. They showed them all off, and they're like, "We don't want to say how these are packed or whatever." Or, you know, we don't want to say everything about this line. So they didn't show. Everybody's like, what's the Build-A-Figure? What's the Build-A-Figure? Those dirty pieces of shit didn't do a Build-A-Figure. They're getting, you know what I noticed? Because I was like, I updated my database because I keep a database of every single
they're
figure.
on card backs, right?
Yeah. What happened to the whole, we're trying to be environment friendly, and we're gonna phase out plastic. Oh, except when it's convenient for us to not have to make more value for your product. Every time they sell me a card back figure that doesn't have a Build-A-Figure for the same exact price as a toy that does have a Build-A-Figure, I get so pissed off.
You're the toe freak that wants that articulation, so you got to pay the price.
You don't know about the toe articulation, Ricky. It is awesome.
Toe perverts.
I don't know if you saw Frank, but in their live stream last week, aside from the Spider-Man stuff, they showed off that the big Marvel activation this year is a celebration of the Avengers.
Oh,
so
cool.
They're going to be a lot of Avengers product, kind of like how last year was like Beyond Amazing, which was like an activation, not just in toys, but all kinds of merchandise to celebrate Spider-Man's 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
This year they're doing the 60th for Avengers. There's a Black Widow with toe articulation.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
She
right
looks
there.
cool, man, and she's got butterfly elbow or shoulders, so her shoulders, her arms can go back and forward, forward and back.
Sick.
Yeah, she's got the full on Spider-Man rework on her, but as Black Widow.
That's perfect. I think I first saw that articulation of the butterfly thing in the Hulk figure. I think
the Hulk is frustrating because he only has backwards.
It only is backwards.
A lot of Spider-Man figures have it, but they have forward and back. Yeah,
I know. Some of the more recent ones that I've noticed, because I've been out of the game. I mostly collect He-Man toys.
But no, there's been 20-year-old Spider-Man ones that have the.
Oh, really?
Have it too.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
I do have some old ones. I mean, 20. That's right along the times where I was probably collecting them. But like it was the shitty ones. It was probably when like the old. Actually, it was when the old 90s Fox TV show was. So that's more than 20 years now. Holy crap!
I will say the Spider-Man on my desk at work, the centerpiece of that collection is the one with the toe. He's posed with the toe.
Who's the toe pervert now, Ricky? Who's the toe pervert?
You gotta use the toe.
It's so good. But I'm stoked on a tarantula.
Oh, dude, I am so happy to finally get rid of the old one.
Is that Lady Daredevil? Is that Elektra's Daredevil? Is that what it is? Okay, cool. Yeah,
I like that. The scarf looks weird though.
I think Jessica Drew looks awesome.
That's a really nice Jessica Drew.
I do like the coloring. And then
the Miles is weird for me. I can't handle the Miles. Like
so what's that? What's that Miles from? I don't even know that.
I guess it's a newer costume in the comics.
Oh, okay. But why is he little then? If it's newer,
well, he's still littler than everybody else, right? In the comics.
I thought he was more. I thought he had a bigger frame or a bigger body. I mean, he's no hefty, heavy D in the boys, but
yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was bigger. I thought he was at least man size.
I just thought it was funny that they found a way to put it on card back, but it's no longer even retro, right? Because they put characters that don't have a retro equivalent. Chasm and that Ben Reilly suit and that Miles and Lady Daredevil are not old things, right? Those are new from the comics. And all four of those, they just got put on a card back. That's not a retro. It's just a Spider-Man card back. It's just an excuse to not sell the Build-A-Figure with Marvel Legends, and I'm not having it. I'm pissed off. I'm so upset.
Well, usually when they do a Ben Reilly costume, it's the one that has the external web shooter looking things.
Yeah, and that's like that one has been sold, I think, on a retro.
But I like this paint. Because I do like this Ben Reilly costume. I think it was a kind of a fresh take on the old.
It's big, like the spiders off to the side, right? A little bit.
Yeah, it's big. It's big like the PS4 one, but it's like the PS4 one, but like off center.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I think it's cool that it's off center. It's pretty funny. I'm all about like you give me a different Spider-Man costume, I'll take it. It's fine. I'm just a little cranky that I'm not getting to Build-A-Figure with it. That's pissed me off.
Who would you make a Build-A-Figure of?
Dude, the last time we got a Build-A-Figure in a Spider-Man wave was freaking Armadillo, and I was like, this is amazing. What? I got Armadillo? Like, give him all to me. Give me, like, dude, they gave me a Razor Beast last year. Or sorry, Razorback last year. I got a human fly, or the Fly. I got the Fly. Yeah. Like, I want all the stupid characters ever.
Stiltman.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Stiltman's awesome, dumb too.
You know what they need? They need a big wheel. Big wheel Build-A-Figure.
There you go. We've talked about this several times. Yes.
I need
give me a big wheel. Yeah. They also said they also teased that the HasLab this year is going to be Avengers themed.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's not Giant Man. I think if they're smart, it's a Quinjet.
That'd be sick.
A Quinjet would be sick, dude.
I'd be down with the Quinjet.
Yeah.
You need something to fight your Sentinel and your Galactus, and that's a Giant Man.
A Giant Man doesn't fight Sentinels and Galactus, dude. Like
he's not
with that imagination. He doesn't.
Not with that attitude.
With a Quinjet, they do though.
Quinjet would be sick. I'm trying to think what else would be comparable. What would be cool if it were Avengers themed? Avengers themed and big.
All I know is it cannot be a Hell Charger.
Not gonna be the mansion.
No, they can't be the mansion. They're releasing a Hawkeye on a Sky Cycle as a
like in the game.
Like in the game, yeah.
That's
and he
sick.
comes with he comes with an actual loincloth so that he can sit properly. Because
that's cool. Yeah,
because they have Hawkeye figures, but it's a plastic, a soft plastic. But so it's a brand new Hawkeye figure with no pins and an actual cloth loincloth. But the Sky Cycle is cool. I would say the Sky Cycle, except for the fact that they're already doing that. So if you're not going to do the Sky Cycle because it's already a product you're making, it's got to be bigger than that, right? So, yeah. I don't know that we need a Giant Man because we've gotten Giant Man in Marvel Legends in recent years.
But like as big as the Galactus?
No,
it also feels weird to have a Giant Man.
He doesn't generally get as big as Galactus, though.
It's like a my-size Barbie.
But if you have a Galactus size, a toy size Galactus of Giant Man, that would look more to scale, right? Than you know what I mean?
No. What I'm saying is, like, if you make everything Galactus size, it cheapens Galactus. Do you know what I mean? Like, Giant Man doesn't get as big as Galactus. That's not a thing he does. Like he has restrictions on how big.
Yeah, but the Galactus is not nowhere near to scale.
It is. It's to scale with the smallest size that he usually is. Like he's not, like, different artists show him in different things, but like the actual scale that he is, if you go to the Marvel website, the listed height, it is his actual height. Like he is in scale correctly. You're just upset because you want to see him bigger. But he doesn't actually take bites out of planets. You know that, right? That's not how he eats planets.
I saw the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie.
So you didn't see Galactus then?
Yeah, you saw Cloud buggy monsters
eat some planets.
What about a
with a machine? You saw a machine that he used.
I saw a helmet that looked like Galactus. That's in that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a Surtur or Celestials would be cool.
Well, they made a Surtur for the movie line, and he's not in scale for sure. But he's cool. He's big. He's like 18 inches tall.
I do like the design from Ragnarok of Surtur. He looks
he's in scale in a small form.
Yeah, that's true. When he because Surtur gets bigger, right? As he gets angrier. I don't think they would do a Surtur this soon after they just put one out a few, like two years ago, right? They did the Infinity War celebration.
Oh, that's right.
They
already did Fin Fang Foom, right?
No, they did him years ago. That was one of Hasbro's first.
Fin Fang Foom.
And so I think that's the poll I saw in Marvelous News is like, would you rather see a Giant Man or a Fin Fang Foom? And that's what they're asking.
Fin Fang Foom. I don't want to fuck Giant
Man. Because I have a Fin Fang Foom. He's not to scale either, for sure. But like a Fin Fang Foom to scale is pretty damn big, though, right? Like I mean, he still looks cool, though.
Give me the Fin Fang Foom from Agents of Hate. Give me
I don't think a Fin Fang Foom would sell as good as like a Quinjet. Am I wrong? I don't know.
No, I think you're
a Fin Fang Foom would sell.
Because the thing with a Quinjet is you can buy more than one. What's the justification to buy more than one Fin Fang Foom to sell it?
If you want to make one into the one from Agents of Hate,
one comes with the shorts and one doesn't.
One with the multiple heads, is that what it is? Yeah, Hydra Fin Fang Foom. Yeah, no. Anyways, that's my toy conversation stuff. You're not a big G.I. Joe fan, right, Frank?
Not I know.
Okay, because they're doing a Shipwreck figure.
Oh, really? I saw someone at Con dressed like Shipwreck. I thought that was pretty cool.
Shipwreck's amazing.
The only reason I like Shipwreck is from the PSAs of those comedy overdub PSAs that they used to put out in the 2000s or whatever.
You know why I like Shipwreck?
Why?
Because he's from Chula Vista.
True.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He is.
Is he Mexican? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, is he really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I always thought he was white.
And I mean, the voice actor is definitely doing his best Christian Slater or Jack Nicholson for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he is the character as written by Larry Hama, who writes all the file cards for every G.I. Joe ever.
Yeah.
He is an actual Navy sailor from Chula Vista, California.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just repping the hometown is what you're doing.
I mean, that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
I mean, cool. Hey, San Diego's a Navy town. What do you want? You know,
it
just makes sense, right? Like that's where your Navy man should be from. But if you don't want him to necessarily be a white guy, you're Navy man. I mean, that's the whole point of G.I. Joe, that right? Though is it's a tribute to the origins of the old G.I. Joe, the big dolls, right?
Yeah.
It's like G.I. Joe had an outfit for every adventure, right? Like he could be a mountain climber, or he could be a spaceman, or whatever he needed to be. Like that's all the smaller toy line's doing, but it's just making a bunch of different people that are all G.I. Joe, you know, like so. You have to have Navy man. You have to have sailor guy. You have to have wetsuit. You have to have
fucking parrot.
You have to have pilot man. You know what I mean? Like you have to have
snowman.
You do have snowman. The snow job just got put up for pre-order as well. You have to have
a weird birthmark man.
Which one's that?
Zartan.
Oh, you mean like how he changes colors?
Yeah, weird birthmark man.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting into the bad guys. That's different. But yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, but you know that's my point. Anyways.
Are you watching The Last of Us, Frank?
I am. Yeah. I was kind of hoping we could discuss that if you guys are watching it.
I want to know what I know you. I see a lot of mixed opinions from you on the Slack sometimes, and I'm like, I can't tell if he really is enjoying this or if he just lost the ability to enjoy anything anymore.
Did you like episode 3, Frank, or did you not like episode 3?
Oh, I loved episode 3, but
there's a but.
But I hated it also. I loved it. I thought it was an example of excellent storytelling. I thought the love story was brilliantly told. Everything about it was just awesome. Just fired on all cylinders. The things that I hate about it, and it's kind of the thing I hate about the Left Behind episode 2, is that we get two stories prominently homosexual, and they're basically filler episodes. They don't serve the plot on the whole, and I kind of dislike that. I don't like that they took 2 episodes that were pretty meaningful to certain people, and they just kind of relegated them to filler episodes. I don't appreciate that.
But I don't think so. Okay. I don't know how to.
I don't think the Frank episode.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing.
Would be filler.
You just reminded me something. Every time that there's a Frank in media, and this is after watching Scream 6 last night, they're either a fucking asshole rapist or something, or gay. Like they're always like some asshole rapist or gay.
So
I don't appreciate Franks.
I think that the idea of filler episode is weird because you're giving it a negative connotation. I think a story that takes place, a good, meaningful, heartwarming story that takes place in this universe that they built, can be a filler episode in the sense that it's not part of the main character's story, even though it is like 20 minutes of that episode is Joel and Ellie. It's a really long episode. It's like a movie. It's like a full-on movie.
That's one thing I like about the episodes.
But you know, it's all how you want to look at it. Like if you don't like filler episodes just on the inherent nature of they're not following the characters I'm invested in, okay.
No, see, now that's not where I fall, though, is the thing. Some of the best Doctor Who episodes are considered filler episodes because they don't advance the plot. They're just kind of asides where you go on a wacky adventure, or it's like just a different story or told from a different perspective. I'm cool with those kind of episodes, But the problem is that in the third episode, we weren't really, well, at least I don't want to say I'll say I wasn't sold. I'm not sold on the Joel and Ellie relationship. And I think by the third episode, you really got to nail this relationship dynamic of them kind of being at odds with one another. I think by this point in time, and then start to warm up to each other. And you started seeing hints of that in episodes 4 and 5. But by the time of episode 3, like, it just wasn't. They didn't really establish like any kind of chemistry.
I disagree. I thought by the end of episode 3, when Ellie is reading the note to Joel, you're getting the first moment where Ellie actually cares about Joel and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, she could tell that she hurt his feelings, and like she seemed pretty okay with Tess dying. Like, she was just back to, oh, look at that, is that a plane? You know, like, she didn't even care. Like, Joel just lost his main squeeze that he's been with for probably 15 years at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ellie wasn't fazed by that at all. And that's because she's seen so much death, right? Like, it's just natural for her. But like, I thought that from the beginning of that episode versus the end, when it comes back to Joel and Ellie, and they're in Frank and Bill's house, and she's reading the note, and she's seeing Joel's reaction. I thought that was the turning point for her.
Yeah.
To start actually caring more about Joel.
There's like a sense of togetherness at the end when they're, they're all showered up, they're loading up the thing. Yeah. They have a little moment with the gun, and he gives her a gun, right? Or she lets him get the gun or whatever.
No, she smuggles
the gun.
That's in the fourth episode.
They have the gun conversation. I can't remember how it played out in the game, but episode 7, the Left Behind one.
It's an expansion story.
It's a DLC. In that DLC, it takes place during that time in the game, though, not during the snow part.
No, so it's similar because she's going for medicine. She's looking through a mall for medicine for Joel, is what she's doing in the game part. And then the flashbacks take place along that, like interspersed. It happens very similar to how it does in the show, and that's one thing I appreciate about the show. Like, the show kind of follows the same beats.
Well, and the cool thing is it does that because it's run by the people who made the game,
right? Yeah, no, that's
freaking awesome.
That's right? Great. I love that, and that's why I love Corey Barlog, however you say his name. That's why I like him doing the God of War show. Because hopefully.
Oh, are they developing a God of War show?
Yeah, they're developing a God of War show. Yeah, and there's a lot of people on Twitter saying, like, "Got to pay attention to this, Corey. Got to pay attention to this. You better pay attention to this."
Wait for the Twisted Metal show coming to Peacock.
Dude, I'm down. I'm there. I'm so there. That's if they do, are you serious? Are they doing that?
Yeah.
You have Peacock, filmed. Right? Do you
I do.
Do you watch Poker Face?
No. Is it good?
Dude, okay. I would say right now on TV, my 2 favorite things are The Last of Us and Poker Face.
Okay.
I 2 very different ends of the spectrum. Poker Face is like if Supernatural was good or something. Not it's not actually a Supernatural show, but it's what it is it's a. Did you ever watch Columbo as a kid?
Yeah, Columbo. Yeah,
used to come on like. And I know you watched The Fugitive or Incredible Hulk, which is just a just a rip off of The Fugitive.
Yeah,
dude, Poker Face is Columbo meets The Fugitive, and it's Natasha Lyonne.
Oh shit! Okay, I've seen the trailers for or not the trailers.
It's written by Ryan Johnson, and he directs actually at least the first episode.
Oh, that'll be a really great show to watch for me.
It's really
I really
good.
love this. No, so Ryan Johnson's good. He's a great storyteller, but he's kind of hit or miss for me. I like him better like when he gives broad strokes or when he directs. I don't like him so much when he writes and directs at the same time. So
he only writes and directs the first episode, and then other people direct the other ones. But
so it'll be good later on.
The first one, no, I like the first episode. The first one's a good setup episode, like because basically the whole idea is she has a power. Like you don't have to call it a superpower if you don't want to. Whatever. She just always knows when somebody's lying.
Yeah, she can read people. Yeah.
She can always know. And like they don't bother to explain how. They just everybody who finds this out about her always tests her with something, right? Like, and she can just instantly know, like, and so what ends up happening is she's just like randomly always showing up in different towns right when somebody that she has formed a relationship with just recently gets murdered. Somebody that they know got murdered, and she happens to overhear the killer say something that she knows is a lie, and then she's like, well, why did they lie about that? Like she doesn't know they're the killer, and then it forces her to just go down a rabbit hole of, because she has an itch she has to scratch, right?
Yeah.
And she always ends up solving the murder. So the funniest part about the show is it's kind of like Knives Out, how like how what happens. It's Knives Out's a weird whodunit, right? Because you actually know who did it at the very beginning of the movie, right?
Wait, you're talking the first one or the second one?
Right,
yeah.
The first one.
Yep.
So this one's like that, where every episode starts with you actually seeing the crime as it's perpetrated by the killer. So you as the audience member always knows who did it. But then you're watching, then after like 15 minutes of setup or whatever, the main character doesn't even show up at the beginning of most episodes. She's not in like the first third of each episode because they do a full story. And then she shows up, and then you find out, oh yeah, she's been working in the kitchen the whole time or something like that, like, and then you like learn that, you get to watch her figure the whole thing out because they make mistakes or they don't believe her power or whatever, like
I see like I'm looking at the guest stars and holy shit, this thing is stacked.
Yeah, it's like a movie every episode. They're like real actors, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like movie actors. People.
Benjamin Bratt. Benjamin Bratt's like my first favorite Benjamin Bratt, or he might be my second favorite Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's in it.
Perlman, yep.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I'm seeing Adrian
Luis
Brody.
Guzman.
Oh yeah, Luis Guzman. Jamila Jamil.
Yeah, like there's a lot of really cool people.
It goes on and on. Rhea Perlman, Ron Perlman is like, what the?
Yeah, they're not related, right?
Yeah, they look the same. I don't know. Their body types are very similar.
But yeah, I think if you have Peacock, you should definitely check that show out. It's really cool. They are?
Wait,
what'd you say?
No, they're not.
There's no way they're related.
There were conflicting articles.
That's funny.
I'm
down to watch it.
The first season just ended yesterday. So you can watch the whole thing now. Like it's cool. But every episode is its own little movie, so you don't have to like binge it. Like they're almost completely individual stories, right? There is a story arc, kind of like they do wrap up a story arc by the end of the season, but like for the most part, it's The Fugitive, right? Okay. Like this, like if you know that story, or if you know The Incredible Hulk, she's just gonna go right wrongs.
She'll go to the next town.
She's an avenging angel, basically. Like the sad part is like it's always somebody cool that gets killed. So sometimes it's like those actors you mentioned, and it's like, oh man, that character died. But it's cool because like as actors, it's fun to watch. It's fun to get to be killed too, right?
There weren't very many recurring characters in like The Fugitive or the Hulk. There's like 3.
Yeah, there's just Jack McGee, right? And then there's some like some general or something like that. It's military people. But yeah, same diff.
Cool. Okay.
Benjamin Bratt's like the recurring guy. Like he's part of the first episode, and then he comes in.
He reprises his role in Catwoman.
Yeah, he reprises his role a couple times in the episode.
So
I'm glad that you like Benjamin Bratt because he actually is the guy that
I mean, Jimmy Smith is my favorite Benjamin Bratt, but Benjamin Bratt's the second favorite.
That's funny.
But back to the Last of Us though. What did you guys think of the third episode then? Like just
I loved it. 10? I loved it because I think it
that dude's winning an Oscar or not Oscar.
Well, that dude's gonna win an Emmy.
But Offerman?
Yeah. Nick Offerman's winging it.
In terms, I thought in terms of the story, it served its purpose for Joel and Ellie, but also was able to deliver that story effectively.
But do you feel it pushed the main narrative forward, though?
I do.
I think it did.
I do.
It got him on the road. It got him like, well, I guess.
Well, because here's the thing. If you remember it from the point of view of the game, right? That's literally only Bill's purpose is to get them that truck.
Yeah,
right?
but I do agree with that statement. But part of the fun was seeing, well, I call it fun loosely, but was seeing his reaction, like when he finds Frank's note after learning that Frank committed suicide, seeing his reaction to it and how like just calloused he'd become from a life of solitude, and then seeing how he plays off of Ellie, who like it's kind of like a cautionary tale. Like that's what Ellie could become if
but Joel is also who Ellie can become, right?
Like, yeah, exactly. It reinforces that. It reinforces that in my head to me. So it's not just about him getting the truck or delivering the truck. It's about and then where the fun comes in is their banter with one another.
Yeah, but their banter's cool, but I just don't think we need the repetition of that point of like this is what Ellie could become, right? Like sure. I think the storytellers saw an opportunity to tell this story in a way that was more Bill centric, right? This was actually Bill's story. Like it was kind of weird, like in the game to like get Bill's story through Ellie, through Ellie and Joel. Like
it's a POV.
I know it is.
The show, though,
but I don't think that's not inherently wrong, though, because
no, it's not wrong. As a game, it's not wrong. But as a TV show, you have the opportunity to do something
to tell it from a different perspective. Yeah, which is great. I'm good with that. I felt a little cheated towards the end because I would have liked to see a grizzled, just over it Bill.
Episode 1 was like a direct 1-to-1, right, to the game. I would consider for
it was a direct 9.5 to 1,
and I think episode 2 was a direct 9 out of 10 of the show.
Sure.
So you get to episode 3 and you get this big deviation as a viewer.
But was it really a deviation though? Like how much of a deviation?
It wasn't though. I think it tempered your expectations of what to expect from the show. Like, oh shit, they're willing to go do these other things. And without sabotaging that story. And I think it, in the weeks to follow, it's definitely showed. Like, I don't think that hindered or hurt the Joel and Ellie story because you got a lot of their bonding done with the subsequent 2 episodes.
Well, I think it did because it's important to show Ellie's, like, her view of the world through her interactions with Bill. Same with Joel, like seeing his view of the world, further reinforcing what we know of their characters, seeing it through their interactions with Bill. I think that would have been really important, and that's one of the things that
I think could have been really important. Is fine, yeah. But I think I'm fine with Ellie's growth in the show without Bill.
Yeah, but I feel like it took longer for me to feel that. You know what I mean? Like I kind of wanted it a little quicker than they delivered it. I don't like the slow burn of establishing these characters because
I don't like that this story is still taking place in 4.5 hours longer than I could have beat it.
If you're beating it that fast, you're definitely missing elements of the story.
Yeah,
is the thing.
But I had to do the speed runs. I had to so.
I thought Miles was doing the speed runs.
I was doing speed runs also. There were several of us because we were on shifts.
It's definitely exciting though to sit there and watch it, and then with Selena, and there's always like, oh, what is something bad about to happen? It's like I think so, but
dude,
it's not always 100%, and that's kind of cool because
my mom watches it. My mom watches that show.
That's
and it's so cool. It's so cool to me that I can like talk to my mom about this thing that I worked on like 10 years ago and have her be excited about it. Like when the 2 weeks ago when the episode ended, with Joel with the bat in his gut.
Oh yeah.
She's like, Dennis, is Pedro Pascal dead? And I'm like,
you got to watch the show, Mama.
Is he? Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, again, like obviously in terms of the game, he doesn't die, but again, there's enough differences so we're like, maybe they did fucking kill him in that episode.
Nah,
maybe
they
that's
would
something.
never. I knew they were never going to kill him in that episode.
Well, that's something that Dennis and I kind of talked about briefly. Where is it still your theory, Dennis, that in the last episode that Joel dies? Joel's going to die here.
No, you said that you heard there's some really divisive stuff that happens in the last episode.
Yeah, and you said that you're
okay, cool. I want him to die.
But is that still something you want then? If it's not a theory,
I won't be mad. I won't be mad if he doesn't. But like
it'll make
you're the one that started that. Different. I didn't know there was divisive stuff happening in the last episode. But if there is going to be, my brain immediately goes to what would be the most divisive thing that I would love. Joel dies. Right.
The show is already pretty, like by the third episode, for some reason it got divisive. Some people were pretty divided on it with episode 1.
There's other reasons why that would be divisive. Episode 3.
I hate thinking about that. Like that just angers me.
Yeah.
To no end.
Side note,
divisive for that.
Yeah, I mean, on the same topic of that, the guy who played Frank, I felt so bad for not realizing who it was until I watched the behind the scenes of that. Have you guys watched The White Lotus?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Do yourself a favor. I know you're like avoiding it because everybody's talked about it for the last couple years.
It's like the grossness of working in being adjacent to that. Interesting.
Yeah, no, for you would definitely find it gross but like that guy is like one of the main characters in The White Lotus season 1, and I didn't even recognize him. But he is a fantastic breakout star. Never heard of that actor before. And then he shows up on this show. And I mean, we're talking about he's acting opposite some really big famous actors that are on that show. And he's just killing every scene. He's just stealing every scene. And so like it was the beard in as Frank that I didn't recognize because everybody's all hairy when they first show up. And then I know he shaves, but I still didn't. He still kind of keeps a beard, right? I can't remember. Does he? Whatever it is, maybe it's the plaid. I don't know. Like, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that he's from The White Lotus. But that's why HBO brought him back, because like HBO loves this guy. Like, he plays a gay man on White Lotus who, like, I'll just say, like, The White Lotus takes place over just like the course of like a week at a resort. You get to watch. It's an Eat the Rich story, basically. Mm-hmm. You get to watch a lot of rich people just be complete assholes at a resort that most of us would never be able to afford.
But not in a Schitt's Creek kind of rich people way.
Sometimes.
Oh, really?
Sometimes.
Okay. I thought it was more of a serious show.
No, it's like a dark comedy. It's a comedy. Oh, okay. There's a lot of funny stuff. It has what's her face? What's her name? The
Aubrey Plaza, Jennifer Coolidge.
No, Jennifer Coolidge. It has Jennifer Coolidge. Jennifer Coolidge is the one thing in both seasons. She's in both. Everybody else is different among the 2 seasons, but Jennifer Coolidge is always Jennifer Coolidge, and so she only does comedy. Come on, like she can't play serious if she tried to play serious. Like, so
it's like when Aubrey Plaza tries to play serious.
Sure, but she does kind of in the second season. Anyways, she also bangs in the second season.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Why didn't you lead with that? Why did you waste my time telling me about rich people and resorts?
I mean, Alexandra Daddario bangs in the first season.
Oh damn! Nice.
You should watch the show, and then you'll have this extra appreciation for the guy that played Frank. Because that dude,
I mean, but that's not awesome. That's not one of my gripes, though. Like if I watched the show and it made me appreciate the lack of interaction.
A side moment to recommend another good show. That's all.
Yeah. Like, I always get so many recommendations every time I come on this show. Like I get like at least no less than 3 recs like to watch. Like I have homework. I have post.
Yeah, you gotta watch
Andor. The only reason I didn't list White Lotus on my list for this year is because I watched it in December. So.
Oh, did both seasons come out this past or
no? I guess I slept on season 1, but I guess I watched season 1 and 2 in the same span as season 2 ended. So I was actually current. I finished season 2 right when it aired, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But season 1's better, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's because the season 2 doesn't have the guy from Last of Us. That's why.
It's just, man, I just hate shows that are just so overhyped.
No, I know. That's why I didn't watch it, because I was like, it just felt it didn't look like something I wanted to watch. And then I finally watched it, and I'm like, well, I'm addicted to this shit.
It's got to be a nerd property for me to want to watch it, I think.
Yeah, I get you. I understand why.
All right, well, I might give it a chance. Poker Face is definite though, because that's one thing that Sarah was on board for.
The reason I like Poker Face is because it knows exactly what it's trying to be, and like everybody watches it. And like, dude, when I finished season 1 like yesterday, do you know what Peacock tried to get me to watch right after, because it's like up next?
Or The Fugitive?
Columbo.
That's awesome.
It immediately started trying to play Columbo. I was like, I see what you're doing.
That's
but
hilarious.
No, I don't really want to watch old Peter Falk right now. Or young Peter Falk. But no, it knows what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but what I appreciate about White Lotus is it's just trying to be its own thing. But now it's a thing that everybody wants to copy. You know, like Eat the Rich thing is a very popular thing now. Like, the menu is an Eat the Rich movie,
the menu
right?
is great,
yeah, it's great. But like, you're gonna start seeing a lot more of those things. Like, I saw a movie on Netflix recently. I think it's from like Argentina or Chile or something. It's called The Platform.
Oh, The Platform. Yeah, that's on my list.
It's okay. It's another Eat the Rich story.
But like the hunt is also an Eat the Rich story.
Yes, exactly. And so we're just seeing a lot of those, and some to varying degrees are better than others. The White Lotus one is kind of icky feeling, because not all the rich get eaten all the time, you know. So some get to keep going on about their lives.
Yeah, that's like real life.
Is that why you don't like it, Ricky? Is that your griping?
I mean, there's just the hospitality industry. It's
it's and when I say some,
a thing of my past.
It's more like most of the rich in White Lotus end up living a blissful lives, like real life.
The way you guys pick apart video games when you're playing them, just through your line of work, is how I feel when I go to a Disneyland or a resort or a hotel, just inherently, because I can't not think about it.
But that's the show. Is every season it takes place at a different White Lotus hotel.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's an anthology series, but Jennifer Coolidge, she's one of those people that's like super rich, like stupid rich, like inherited so much money that she just doesn't work, you know. So she just travels to different resorts, and she's so disconnected with reality that she always has the weirdest requests of the staff and stuff. So you get a juxtaposition between the staff that are working, you know, tirelessly to just make ends meet.
Yeah.
And then they're servicing these people that will never understand the lives that the staff, you know, live.
That's cool. I like the idea of making different White Lotus resorts, because that you always talk about like sustainability in TV shows, and I think that adds a layer of sustainability if the show does well.
Well, that's why I was confused when they did a second season, because I was like, wait, it's gonna go back, and then it starts and it's like in Italy. The first season's in Hawaii and the second season's in Italy, and I was like, I get it. These are smart producers that just want to travel on the fucking HBO's bill.
Yeah,
you know
boy.
I mean? And that's pretty smart, you know. Like,
can't hit on that,
Yeah, so you get to see beautiful scenery, and you get to see actors like having fun in weird places, and it's kind of like, you know, they only, like, you can get some big name actors because they only have to commit to one season, because they're not going to come back for the next one. So that's the fun of the show.
Ricky, you played Last of Us, right? Going back to Last of Us.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah.
What did you feel about Melanie Linsky, Kathleen's character in Last of Us? She was the leader of the.
I liked her.
They weren't Fedra. They weren't Fedra in this. So they changed it to something else. What do they call it? They didn't call it the Yellow Jackets. I called it the Yellow Jackets just to be stupid.
Well, I don't think they were Fedra in the game, right? At that point in the game.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because Fedra was dogging their heels.
It was Fedra. I don't remember much.
Okay.
I remember the big beats of the game. I don't necessarily remember like the details. But I didn't mind her character. And I didn't mind the shift because it's Pittsburgh in the game, right? And then it's Kansas City in the show.
In the show, yeah.
Yeah, or
but
the
it
Henry.
Sure looked like the game, though. It looked exactly like the game.
It looked pretty cool.
It was weird. Like
the environments is like the furthest thing from any complaint that I have, and I love the show. Don't get me wrong.
I got weirded out on that one scene where like they're at the base, the main floor, right at the staircase of like the place where Sam is staying, and like, and you see there's a bulletin board, and I'm like, that's where they had that phone number for the phone sex line in the game. But
oh, really? That's funny.
But it's not there in the.
Yeah, I mean the Henry and Sam.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, making him deaf. Cool.
I'm cool with that. That's a very unfortunate disability to have in a zombie apocalypse, but I'm okay with that. I thought it was cool.
Was he not deaf in the game?
No, he wasn't deaf.
Okay, I couldn't remember. It's like I speed through that part real fast. Like
that part was cool. I like a lot of the Easter eggs that point to like very
the children's school, the underground school.
I thought we were gearing up to see that little sad scene with the dead bodies in the tarp, the little tiny dead bodies in the tarp. I thought we were going to see that, but they handled that pretty well, I think.
They do a good job of making you sad every
episode. But yeah, they do a great job of that for sure. But I like the reference to the character Ish. He was in the game. Dennis, you probably don't know him because you sped run it, but there's all
submarine, right?
What's up?
He's on the submarine or the boat?
Yeah, so he starts off on the boat, and it kind of just goes through his life. You read through his life via letters and notes that he writes and stuff like that, and how he meets this group of survivors and how they build a community and the fall of that. And it's great. It's fantastic storytelling, and they subtly put it in the live action. I think it would have been really cool to explore something like that. I think
like as a side story.
Yeah, as a side story. But the Easter eggs I was totally happy with. Like I like the way they did the water still, or what are they called? Water stills? Whatever, the things that gather water, that gather and filter the rainwater. Like they did those, and they did like the little mini soccer pitch that they made, and they had like the drawings of Ish, and I thought it was cool. I thought stuff like that I do appreciate, but I think I'd rather them like explore Ish or a character that's in the game rather than go into like Kathleen.
I mean, what would you want? Do you want to? They're going to tackle the second game, right?
Sure.
Would you rather them do like a episode 1 or season 1.5 where you get these other stories?
No. I would rather them not make up new stories and give us the stories that were found in the notes. Like give us the
but in a perfect world, new stories from the mainline.
If I was like, yo, Neil,
why are you so against them telling news stories?
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at them for telling news stories. I'm 100% okay.
There's enough story there to sustain. I think that's what.
Yeah, but I think exactly. There's enough story currently there to sustain being able to tell multiple stories. I'm fine with that.
I think the cool thing is like what the show does a better job of than the game is putting faces behind the people that have to get killed. You know what I mean? Like
I agree with your statement, but I disagree that needed to be done. Like the entire time when I'm watching like the behind the scenes, and they're all like, yeah, Neil had this great idea to make what was it? What do they call tendrils instead of spores? And I thought that was a great idea. I got on my knees and I sucked them off immediately. And I'm just like, no, I don't think that's a great idea, but it's an idea, and that's what you chose to do. And it doesn't hurt the show per se, but I don't think it enhances the show either. But that's how I feel about characters like Kathleen or like the beginning of the show when they do that 70s thing about global warming and talking about
I like that. I like that because I felt like that was for everybody who never watched the game or never played the game.
Yeah,
you know, and that's HBO, right? HBO reaches a way bigger audience, and
while I do agree with you that it was a good scene, I don't advocate for the normies. Fuck the normies, in my opinion.
I know you don't. I know, but you know, I was gonna say it. You know, I was gonna say it.
I don't remember David being so heavy-handed pedo in the game.
Well, you don't remember the game.
Yeah, you don't remember the game. You don't remember the game very well. Then
you don't remember the game.
That's a lot of it.
That's the part I will never forget. And so I was waiting for it the whole time. I was like, "Come on, bro. When do you get pet? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay."
And then when he said he was a pastor, I was like, "Ooh, we're getting even worse
pedo." So you liked that extra bit of story that we got with David.
I liked him because David was an already established character, and they just gave us an extra layer. They actually like David had that line about like noticing the darkness inside Ellie because he possesses it too, kind of thing. That wasn't in the game, but it was a good bit of like character building.
Yeah, it was cool.
But like, you know, I don't know. In my like action oriented brain, there's little gripes that I have that are just my gripes. It's not on the show, but like I wouldn't have mind like an upside down killing zombie scene or her and David defending the steel mill or wherever they're at, the lumber mill.
Yeah, was it the lumber mill or also like, dude, the freaking the water plant was the dam was completely.
Yeah, they looked at it.
They looked at it for a second, and I was like, "Oh man, I killed so many people there." I'm like, "Oh wait, we're not doing that."
Not killing
what I
think
is funny about the show is it chooses to be the anti-Walking Dead, right? Like the show, like the anti-Walking Dead, because the anti-Walking Dead insists on we're gonna give you freaking zombies every episode. You're gonna see cool makeup effects and everything. And like Lindsay was telling me, the funniest thing about it is like the best stories in the comics don't even have zombies.
Yeah.
But that show never fails to show you zombies in it because they feel like it's their obligation. Like they feel like they've created this following that wants to see the cool monsters every episode. And what I think's funny is like HBO, which is a network that can totally afford to do even better as monsters than AMC could on their budget, could do it, but they choose to go the opposite and be like, you know what? We're gonna do entire episodes where they don't even kill anybody. And you're like, what? Because that's all I did in that game. I killed so many people, and I actually kind of applaud them for that because it's really cool because it gets more to the heart of the story, which is
it's a testament to the power of that story.
Actually what I always complained about. Like, I don't like the game as a game. I like the game as a story, but I don't like the part that I have to play it because I feel like you're not really letting me have agency. You know, you're on rails. You make me do things that I don't want to do. And so I think this would play out better as a story.
What don't you want to do? Or what's an example? Like the upside down killer scene or whatever?
I'm talking about the end of the game. All right. I'm talking about the
end of the game I see.
Well, I'm saying a good game, that last part of the game would have been a choice. Like, right? A choice that you get to make. And they would have let you have both.
I disagree with that only because of the ambiguity of his actions when he discusses it with Ellie later. If that scene didn't exist, I would 100% agree with you.
No. I'm saying, like, as a story, like, you know, like, for example, Mortal Kombat, like
pick your ending.
They let you pick, but then they decide in the sequel which one's the real one. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But I'm saying as a game that I buy for $60 and I take home and I want to do replayability, I want the option to choose, you know, how it ends just for this moment. If 5 years later I buy a sequel and the sequel says we chose to go with ending A, okay, that's fine. I'm on board because I paid you another $60 because I want to play this.
I mean, but I still disagree with you on that. Just because in the sequel it takes away the ambiguity of Joel's actions and paints him in a certain light.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, however the sequel chooses to do it, that's fine. But I'm saying ignore a sequel at first. Say, like, the only thing you had when you first played Last of Us is Last of Us. You don't have a sequel.
Yeah.
I'm saying as a game, the whole point of a game is to empower the player
with the choice.
With the choice of how you play that game and how you play that character. I have a problem with it when the character is really just telling me how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Hold
why
on one second.
That's why I get annoyed with the Uncharted's too.
But you love the Arkham series though, and he directly tells you how to play the game.
But the Arkham series is like, I mean, you made the argument.
You have a choice of like how you want to play. You want to do stealth, right?
You can do stealth. You can do violence.
Same with Last of Us.
Just like
I see Dennis's point. I see Frank's point though. It's they're both not wrong. But
I understand that they had a story they wanted to tell. But the difference is you're comparing playing Batman. You're saying
no. I'm comparing how you said that there's different ways of going about doing things, and Batman limits you to doing things a certain way at certain points.
No, but I'm saying like Batman is a game, you're buying it to be Batman. You're buying it to be Batman. Like when you buy The Last of Us, it's not like because you're an established fan of Joel. You know what I mean? Like you're not like, oh man, I've been studying Joel for 20 years of my life. I've been reading
Joel since the 30s.
I play Madden to play a football game. When I play some video game, then play to play online with my friends. When you play The Last of Us, it's intended to be played to follow a story. So just through that, you're on rails to an extent on how you progressing through that story.
Right.
Well,
right.
in that the game's linear in that way. You can't like, there's no open world. There's no like, different missions.
Exactly.
No, I totally understand that. But how you get there through the linear story is up to you.
Sure.
But that's not what we're arguing.
I'm not angry at the decisions that Batman makes at the end, right? Or like, I'm not angry at like at anything.
I know Batman. I'm a little angry at the decisions he made.
A lot of people were pretty upset at that.
Well, that's not. No, we're talking about the Arkham games. You know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I didn't end that game with like, Batman's terrible. You know, like with The Last of Us, I was just like,
makes you feel a certain way, and you gotta live with it.
Well, exactly like Ricky said. Like it's kind of how you perceive the game. Like if Joel's the hero or the villain.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna be presented with how I perceive it, it would have been nice to have a moment where I get to choose. You know what I mean? Like for me, I would have liked having the choice.
Yeah, and
then I could go talk with my friends and be like, "Which ending did you choose?" And I'd be like,
"Are you a psycho
obviously?" Iron Man is the guy who's the man, and you'd be like, "No way, Captain America!" And I'd be like, "Whoa, what?" You know.
I want to say that I love that you use that comparison,
because it's appropriate, right?
But no, I now I agree with what you're saying because of the way it was worded a little differently this time around. Like it was worded in that, you would have preferred there to be a choice rather than the game is inherently flawed because you didn't get the choice. I think that's kind of how I took it when you said it earlier. I
mean, regardless of what happens next week, right? How it plays out, if they play it out true to the game or mix it up. I mean, are you on board, Frank, for season 2 or no?
Hell yeah! I love the second game.
Yeah,
the second game, and like I said, like the second game takes away some of the ambiguity of Joel's actions and in the way they paint Joel.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the complexity of the story that it told. Like I don't know how far you guys know about it. I know a little bit about what Dennis knows about it, but Ricky, I don't know how much you know about the second game.
I get up to where
I know my mom's gonna be upset.
I get up to where people die.
People?
Or that person dies.
Okay, cool. So
I know how it ends though.
So I was never against that in any way, and so when my peers and people that I saw on Twitter were upset about it, I'm all like, you're obviously upset about it because you loved that character and you really wanted to play as that character. But the thing is, you get more story with that character as the game progresses through flashbacks and again through letters and through Ellie. So there's no, I don't see, I see it as a non-issue. I think the real problem is the person who kills that character. I think is people didn't like playing as that character, but I enjoyed it because, like you said with Melanie
character's
Linsky's
gonna
character,
be
or like I think both of you had said that it kind of puts a face on, or no, it was you that said that, Ricky, that it puts a face on the villains.
I said it, man.
Oh, did you say it? Sorry, Dennis. Sorry, Dennis.
Put the face of the people that you kill.
But I mean, Ricky also says that too. Like,
Ricky doesn't say shit.
He might have said it just copying you. Do you think he just Ricky just straight copied you? But no, it puts a face on the killers, and it kind of shows their perspective, and it shows how everyone is just fucking fucked up in that world. And that's fan fucking.
I didn't even think about it, but we're on this as a society, this Pedro Pascal high.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait to go to work on Monday and just see the takes on whatever happens.
Yep.
I forgot how muddy that ending is, on a morality basis. So it's gonna be. I'm excited to see how that all plays out.
It's got a couple different levels of that. But one thing,
here's my question.
Yeah.
What would Batman have done?
He would have told me. He would have told me what he wanted to do. He would have been like, I have to kick out that grate and then climb up to the gargoyle.
I'm saying, would Batman save humanity or save Ellie?
I think Batman would save Ellie without killing anyone.
Yeah, without killing anyone, though.
I don't know, man.
Well, you know what? Batman, it depends on Batman because...
Remember that season finale of Justice League?
I was gonna bring up was sometimes he has like a little gray morality where he doesn't kill outright, but he doesn't have to save sometimes. So there are times when he does that. So
Batman Begins asking.
Yeah, Batman Begins, and he's not an outright killer like Keaton Batman. But I think Batman would probably work for the greater good. I think I do.
He would, right?
Agree with Dennis, but he'd be pretty fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah. But his whole thing is saving Gotham, right? Not saving a person in Gotham. Like, he believes that everyone needs to be saved. And so, like, if it came down to if Ellie dying could save humanity.
But this is what Batman would do. He would thoroughly vet the doctor.
For sure.
Batman would have already tested her blood.
Yeah, he would have already
Batman would have taken the blood to Superman, and Superman would have said, "Oh, I have a cure for that. I already made that 10 years ago."
But that's one of the things that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't got that far in part 2.
Well, that's why we're just talking about what Batman would do.
Yeah, but like he would thoroughly vet the thing and then find out something that happens in part 2 that kind of sheds light on that whole situation. Actually, there's a little part of it. It's not super huge. No, I think it's super huge. In the
I'll play 2. I'll tell you what. I'll play 2 after I finish this season 1 of the show.
Cool.
I'll play it. I will. It's just.
I didn't know you had played 2, Dennis.
No, I have. I only played like the first few minutes of it, and I was like, the problem is it came out during the start of the pandemic. And I was like,
oh yeah, it did.
And I was like, I'm already playing The Division. I don't need 2 games that are doing this right now, So I have it. I own it. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go through that. It's no knock on their ability to tell a story. I do know that Amy Hennig
I totally forgot that it came out at the start of
Amy Hennig had left. Yeah, exactly. So that was the other
Star
reason.
Wars.
That was the other reason I was kind of weirded out by it.
Yeah, she did work at Star Wars.
That was the justification I used to not play it. Was those 2 things?
But you bought it. You bought it that time. At that time,
I got it for
Oh, okay, for the thing.
Super discount. So
yeah,
it's not like. Yeah, I just have it.
I've played through that game probably 4 or 5 times. I think, mostly for the trophies. But
I'm not going to judge you. It was the pandemic. It was a pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody did weird things,
No, I like that game.
I played a shit ton of freaking what was that Nintendo game with the Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing, yeah.
That's what I was playing when Last of Us came out. Actually, is Animal Crossing and The Division.
I still don't have,
and so I just couldn't. I couldn't make room for Last of Us 2.
That's funny as hell.
In my life at that time. Yeah.
There's one thing in the Last of Us that's coming out on Sunday. That episode, they said that they were going to put in the giraffes.
I figured the giraffes were had to come. I'm still waiting for the giraffes, and I'm waiting for the gymnasium. Are we too late for the gymnasium?
We're too late. We're way too late for the gymnasium.
We are, right? I thought
that was in Billstown. That was Bill.
Oh, it was in Billstown. You're right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Look who comes crawling back to wanting Bill to be alive. Look who comes.
I don't need Bill to be alive. I just need them to go to the gymnasium really quick. You know.
That's funny.
Oh, but props to them for including so many of the mundane locations that are now really like iconic. You know, like I'm like, why didn't they go to the dam? Why did they go to the gymnasium? You know, like it's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize how much I cared about those locations. Yeah, but all the ones they did are top notch. They are so freaking accurate recreations. It made me appreciate more all of the art that went into making them for the game.
Yeah,
because I'm like, well, this is technically easier to make in real life, right? Like it's
sure.
Technically, you just go
go to that place.
Sam's room, like, okay, somebody drew some freaking shit on a wall, like, and that's but like that was like somebody in the game they created that entire wall, they created that entire room, you know, like that's it's weird to me. It's weird to see the level of artistry that in hindsight that went into that game.
I brought up the giraffes. Do you guys remember what that symbolizes based on what I said?
Yeah, your thing.
Fuck your giraffe shit.
That's what I love the giraffes so much, and I wouldn't have known about that. I didn't know about that until I looked at it for
Remind us again. Sorry.
So it's the disconnect between the heart and the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
You brought this up when WandaVision was when our first episode.
That's what caused the soapbox. That's what spawned the soapbox in the first place.
Yeah,
when I brought that up after
a few weeks of soapbox.
A few weeks of doing shit like that
a few weeks of you just having a million other things to say after.
Sure.
But now we've got an hour. I want to go soon. But if you have anything else you want to bring up, go for it. But
I bought my Mario tickets.
Last of Us
buy to get one.
Last of Us for the PC comes out at the end of this month. If you guys want to pick it up, so
are the Oscars tomorrow or no? Not tomorrow. Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Better win everything.
I want to see it win at least one thing, but if I could see it win like 4 or 5 things, that'd be safe.
I'll watch it after it loses the Top Gun.
Damn.
You think it's gonna lose to Top Gun?
Wait, what category do you want it to win? Top Gun, I mean.
Best Asian actor? I mean, Top Gun is not winning that.
With Miles Warren.
You think Top Gun is going to win Best Picture?
Saved Hollywood.
It did not save Hollywood.
That's what the story says. That's what the press says. That's what Tom Cruise said. He seems trustworthy.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
He seems trustworthy.
He does his own stunts, so he knows.
You know, I mean, half that shit's politics. So it's like he's
gonna win at least something. But
wait, is Top Gun nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are you kidding me?
Let me look these up.
What the hell?
Okay, I'll let you know what's nominated.
And that is stupid.
It's been Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar, has he?
Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar.
Well, I guess he wouldn't win if Top Gun wins.
He's not going to win it for Top Gun. He's not going to win an Oscar for Top Gun.
Okay, so Best Picture is All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water. Oh my God, that better not fucking win.
No,
Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah,
Elvis.
That movie's not. It's not. It's okay.
Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking.
I think The Fabelmans like a sneaky one because
I've heard The Fabelmans is really good, but
Spielberg fucks a lot of things up.
Fabelman's pretty good, but I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. It's good though. Like if it does win, I'm not mad.
I haven't seen about 3 of those movies, but I have seen most of those movies. Everything Everywhere All at Once is by far superior to all of the ones that I've seen, like by a lot.
I bet you it's gonna do like with the Game Awards with God of War, where God of War took like every award and then they gave best game or game of the year to Elden Ring.
Sure. I mean, again, it's
like
it's the same type of politics with that shit. So
like I bet you Everything Everywhere All at Once wins everything, and then best picture goes to like Top Gun Maverick.
Like you'll probably get the actresses for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Top Gun Maverick is not a good movie.
Neither was Bohemian Rhapsody, and that shit won. So
neither was neither was the original Avatar.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
I've never seen Bohemian Rhapsody, by the way, so I couldn't say.
I'm hoping that the Desi Nacho. Wait, did you guys watch RRR?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping that the Desi Nacho song wins best.
They're performing
best original song.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
It's nominated, so that's my pick. I hope that works. If Top Gun fucking beats it with "Hold My Hand," I'm gonna be pretty fucking pissed.
Dude,
I'm going up against Gaga.
It's tough to go up against Gaga, man.
Dude, RRR better win best song. That song RRR should win a lot of things, but not if anything that's in competing with Everything Everywhere All at Once. It should not.
It should not.
RRR is like second favorite movie of the year.
It's pretty damn good.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, by far best movie. You know, I'm so mad at my mom, by the way, because like when she visited me over the summer, it was just me and her because Lindsay went away she went to visit her family.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited because I bought that movie for Lindsay for her birthday, and I was like, "Mom, let's watch this. I want you to watch this." And she fell asleep. She just couldn't. She couldn't. And she's just like, I kept waking her up, and she's like, "I don't understand this movie. It's so weird. It's like it's just so crazy. I don't get it." And so she never wanted to watch the rest of it, right? And she like calls me like two weeks ago, and she's like, "Hey, do you remember that movie you tried to get me to watch?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's winning all the awards." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Like, serious?" Like, and she's like, "You know, I kind of still want to watch it." And I'm like, "You hated it when I tried to show it to you." She's like, "No, I think I was just really tired." And I'm like, "I tried to show it to you more than once. I'm not gonna argue with her. It's just funny.
Did you know Short Round was in that movie?
Revisionist history, man. She's like trying to make it out. She's just lack of sleep. But I'm like, I tried showing you this movie several times. You know, sci-fi is not for everybody. I get it.
It's not for everyone. Yeah.
It's not. It's a hard sci-fi. It's like it's Rick and Morty sci-fi.
That's why I'm agreeing with Ricky on Best Picture. Only because sci-fi is not for everybody. But you know what is? Fucking pew pew jets.
That Top Gun Maverick was
that's the best argument.
It hit a lot of strides.
That's the best argument you could make. Is that?
That's it. And but if Everywhere All at Once wins, I ain't mad. I ain't fucking mad at it at all.
Because you and I know it's a better movie.
It was the more enjoyable movie, and you know what? And that was because like all movies of its kind at the time, and especially now, we're just shit. We're just utter shit.
Yeah. By the way, Stephanie Sue from that movie, Joe Butchbaki, you know?
Oh yeah.
She was in last week's episode of Poker Face.
Oh, okay. So
and she kills it in that episode. I was like, wow, this girl is just amazing every time she shows up.
Yeah, I just gotta watch Poker Face, I think. So nobody from both of those movies are in actor in leading role. I think Brendan Fraser's going to win that for The Whale.
Wait. Michelle Yeoh did not get nominated for Best Actor in a leading role?
It's Paul Mescal for After Sun, Bill Nighy for Living, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin.
Well, I meant for the... Are they still doing it by male and female?
Yes.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh. Okay, sorry. I didn't know because I thought actor and leading role was all of them. Okay.
Well, I heard a thing like a week or so ago that they're considering changing that, but I guess not for tomorrow. You know,
not for tomorrow.
Not Sunday.
Ooh, Ana de Armas in Blonde. She's not beating Michelle Yeoh, but that just sucks that she has to compete with Michelle Yeoh.
That was the single greatest thing Michelle Yeoh's ever done in her career. Like, by far. Like
I like Crouching Tiger though, man.
I hate that movie so much.
No,
I really
I don't have this reverence for Michelle Yeoh.
I really do.
All right.
I don't like that movie.
The Mummy, The Dragon Empire was her best movie.
Ricky, I don't know why you don't watch this movie. It's like you'll hate it. You'll hate it because you're garbage. Because you're a garbage person who likes garbage movies, and you don't like things that actually make people feel, emotions about family. Yeah, you're gonna hate it. You're a monster.
I'll watch Top Gun afterwards. Feel better.
Yeah,
I just know you'll hate it. The more I think about it, it's just whatever.
In fact, I don't want you to watch it.
I guess that's the magic of We Have Spoken, right? Is you have terrible taste.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna go play my game for a few minutes and then go to bed.
All right, good night.
All right, night, guys. That was fun.
See ya.
We have spoken.
No.